Hi everybody and welcome to Only Cool Stuff. My name is Zahir and this channel is all about our high street pop culture toys and collectible store in Garstang, as well as our exploits reselling used goods on eBay. It's nearly 11 o'clock and I'm about to open the shop. It's actually Father's Day today, Sunday, but as most of you guys out there will know that reselling doesn't stop for Father's Day, the car boots were on, and if you didn't go you will have missed out, quite simply. Even though it was quite overcast today, I picked up some really nice items, a good selection of stuff, and with a little mix. The majority of the stuff is still focused so that I can list it in our shop on our website as well as sell it on eBay, but there are a couple of bits that always sneak in that are specifically eBay only as well. But I'll show you what I picked up with some really good finds out there. One more thing before I start to show you the pickups. It's really important to notice that most of what I picked up came from a handful of stalls, so there was a lot of walking around with an empty bag, which does make you feel a little bit uneasy, but I've learned that it's just, I can't afford to just buy things for the sake of it, because of space, because of time, because of everything, trying to just be more efficient. Just cannot afford to, and I found it a lot easier now to only pull the trigger when I really feel that it justifies it. So hopefully that will come through in the stuff that I've picked up. The first thing that caught my eye at the car boot was this lot here. It was all tucked away in a carrier bag, and it's one of those monthly magazine jobbies. This is by RBA Collectibles, and they did a whole selection of F1 cars with an accompanying magazine. Now, I got this for a really great price. When you're looking at stuff like this, you do have to be careful because these are not highly valuable, sought after. These are not mini champs, these are not Solido or anything like that. These are just a bog standard type thing that you'd get with your like monthly magazine. However, because some of the cars are pretty old school and they're really nicely made, they've got the official sponsors, they still have a tiny bit of value. By that, if you actually look online, you'll see someone trying to flog one car with this corresponding magazine for about £8 plus shipping. So some can be worth more, some can be worth less. So you have to bear that in mind when you're buying a lot like this. This is going to be the perfect kind of lot for us to have in the shop. Like, we sell these like loose Hot Wheel cars for like £1 each, and the kids absolutely love them. So this type of item is going to be perfect in the shop. I'm thinking we're going to charge maybe between £3 to £5 a car, and in the shop. Online prices will be different. On eBay we'll charge more. The website will be the same as the shop, but obviously you'll have to pay shipping. But we're looking probably at £3 to £5 a piece for most of these, which is really great profit. But like I said, I paid an amount I was comfortable with, knowing that you're only going to be getting on average between £5 to £10 per car. Just a further note, you may notice that I'm not actually telling you what I've paid for these items. You just need to know that I was happy to pay what I paid for them, knowing what I'm going to sell them for. I'm telling you what they're worth. I noticed this. This is something that Dave from ABL Reselling YouTube channel has said in the past. It really makes no difference what I paid for an item at a car boot, because you may find the same or similar item and have to pay a different amount. You just need to know what the market value of something is. Then you can judge by that how much you're willing to pay, and in terms of like how much profit do you want from your items. Recording this haul is actually turning out to be a lot more challenging on a Sunday than I thought. We've already had a couple of people in picking up those last minute Father's Day gifts, I think. So let's carry on with this haul whilst I've got a moment. From the same stall as the F1 lot of cars, die-cast plasticky cars, I also picked up this Game Boy Advanced Tribal SP. It actually came with this DS charger, kind of shoehorned into the back, but luckily the pins don't seem damaged. You can actually buy USB chargers for the SP for about £3 on eBay. Now, Game Boy SPs have shot up in value. There's a couple of things you want to look out for. Firstly, always check if you are lucky enough to have gotten a model number AGS 101. This one is not. This is a 001, so this is the common one. The AGS 101 commands a lot more money because it has a better screen fitted at the factory. I think there's a more like a brighter screen. Most of the ones you're going to come across are not going to be that. This particular model of SP is basically called the Tribal Edition because of the tribal markings on the back. In good condition, I've seen people get 80 odd quid used for one of these. In this condition, I'm thinking about £50, maybe £60. It seems to be in good working order. It had a little bit of battery as well, so there we go, it sounds good, and that very familiar sound. So obviously worth looking out for Game Boy SPs. Not often you're going to see them, and when you see them, sometimes it can be overpriced. In this case, this was not. This was a bargain, but yeah, look out for them. The next store I visited, I only picked up one item, but it was this Volvo FH12 tractor along with this like semi part. Now, from what I've seen, these can sell quite cheaply. I've seen these go for as little as under a tenner. However, this particular refrigerator unit, like semi unit, that goes on the back of this or any other truck, that is worth, even used, about £30 to £40. So again, plenty of profit, especially with that. So I bought those together. So in total, I should be looking maybe about 40 to 50 quid, I reckon, because obviously the boxes are in terrible condition, and I'll need to just clean up the actual die cast itself and just sell that, photograph that and sell that as is. I might not even mention the boxes because the boxes are in such poor condition. They're almost not worth mentioning as part of the sale. The next stall I went to, I got probably my best finds of the day, and they are these figures and plush that you can see. The weird thing about this was I actually picked up the figures, and then when I was doing another lap, they'd bizarrely put the empty packaging out on display, and when I went to the store, I was like, oh, that's the packaging for the figure I bought, is it, can I have that? And they were like, yeah, of course, yeah. So I picked up the packaging on my second round, which in itself is an important thing to remember in this case because of the value involved. This gent here, his name is Frank, and he is a NECA Series 3 figure of Frank from Hellraiser, and this is probably one of the best finds of the day. Brand new boxed, these figures are touching £100 plus, but I've seen used figures go for £70, and not even with the complete accessories. I've got all the accessories included in the box still unused. It's just the fig. It seems like only the figure was taken out to display, so I've got the whole lot there, and that's a great pickup. The next item worth mentioning is this Kyle plush. Now, if you find a 1998 South Park plush with the tag, they have really gotten some decent value. I think for this particular one with the tag, you should be looking at between £30 to £40, so that was a really good pickup too. The next pickup was this Alien vs Predator Celtic Predator, and again he's complete with his box and all the accessories are there as well. This one is probably about £40 odd figure, but I may just keep him as a shop display, but we'll see. He probably will end up getting sold. He's awesomely cool though. Finally, this handsome chap is a Locust Series 4 Grenadier Elite figure from NECA again. I have seen a completed listing in this condition, so incomplete. Normally he would have some kind of a headgear, and obviously he'd have some kind of a weapon, but I've seen him sell loose like this for £28, so another fantastic pickup. Now, there's 6 figures here. They're by Mattel, which isn't amazing in itself, but they are from 2005, I think, and they are Shonen Jump figures, so anything to do with an anime or show of any kind is always worth looking into. And what's interesting, I've not been able to find a great deal of completed, but this particular figure here has a completed and sold listing on eBay, sold in the States for the equivalent of 70 quid, so I should be okay. Well, I'll definitely be okay with what I paid for the lot, so again, very pleased with this. Again, these can be displayed in the shop as well as our website, and obviously sold on eBay. So moving on to yet another stall, I picked up this item. Now, it's not normally something I would pick up, but these are Danbury Mint Wedgwood plates from Lord of the Rings. They each come with like their own little certificate of authenticity, etc., for whatever that's worth. But we do get people asking about Lord of the Rings stuff, and so it's always good to have a few bits in. So they'll be nice on display. They look pretty cool. They should have a value, even though I can't find any recent completeds, which means obviously they're going to be slow sellers, which is a shame. But I paid very little for these. So the fact that I've seen a Legolas one sell for I think $26.99, I'd be happy to get like 20 quid a pop on each. More than happy actually. So I think in the shop they'll go pretty well actually. The last couple of items I'm going to show you are going to be eBay items, and they also are quite big, bulky items. When I bought this particular Kenwood mixer, assuming that the main unit might be faulty. I've not tested it yet. It may well be working. It probably will be. It looks in very good condition. But it came with the original Kenwood glass mixing bowl, for which you should be able to get between £20 and £25. And it did come with the set of 3 whisks. You've got the K-whisk, the balloon whisk, and the dough hook as well. For that set, you should be able to get between £10 and £15. Final item I want to share with you guys is this Philips stereo. This was the last thing I picked up from the car boot. It was one of those situations where I asked the buyer how much they wanted, and I just couldn't leave it at the price. In terms of resale, the reason what kind of attracted me to it really was that even though it doesn't have anything like mini disc, which is normally something you'd look for, it does however have a DAB radio, and it also has a USB input, so it's kind of modern and still useful. The DAB radio, the USB, as well as the CD, and the ability to have an auxiliary input still makes it a useful little micro stereo. And for something like this, you should be able to get about 35 quid, which it sounds like not much considering the size and the bulk of it, but that's a lot of good profit in that still. So that's like the market value anyway. I'd expect to get like 35 plus shipping. I just want to give you guys a little bit of an update on this haul. Both the items that I bought that were eBay only, they were the heaviest, bulkiest items. Both of them are not fit for purpose. After testing the stereo CD player, it kept on intermittently just skipping when there was no reason for it to skip on CD. And you know, if I'd sent that out, even if I'd mentioned it, it would just kill the value of it that much more. It's not worth the hassle of then boxing and shipping that out. And then also obviously it's just a faulty product basically. So that's no good. So that item's not worth picking up. The Kenwood mixer, it's a very common fault with those mixers. It works absolutely fine, but when you leave it running, you slowly start to get this burning smell. So it's like the capacitors are starting to crack or whatever, and they need replacing, or there's build up of muck on the brushed motor. Both of those things, they aren't meant to be difficult fixes, but again, I just don't have the time. So that's another item that's useless. However, at least I can salvage these. I've seen people actually getting a lot more than I thought for these. I've seen people getting like a tenner each for these. So as a bundle, I might be able to get 20 odd quid for that. And plus, I've still got the bowl to sell as well. So when stuff like that happens, it makes, and also the plastic panels, by the way, you can actually take the panels off of the mixer, like the back and whatnot. But when stuff like that happens, it just further strengthens my resolve to actually just say, you know what, leave the electronics for someone else who can be bothered with it, who's got the time for it, and just stick with the other stuff. You know, this dude, he's not faulty. I can just look at him, there's nothing broken on him. He's fine. Nothing's going to go wrong with him as long as I ship him carefully. He's not going to get just destroyed or anything. Same goes with any of the other stuff I bought. I mean, obviously, plush, you know, as long as this gets to the customer with the tag still attached, we've got no issues. You know, boxed action figures, just package it, it's fine. I don't need to test it. It's just a waste of time because you test stuff. You're hoping for it to work. It doesn't quite work, or it you know, it works. It kind of works. It doesn't properly work. There's all these little variations, and it really puts me off. And it kind of makes me think, actually, just before I get in too deep, because I cleared out all the electronics before, and then I've kind of slowly got myself sucked back into it because the profits are great. They really are, and most of the time you'll be fine. But when stuff like that happens, I'm like, no, just focus all your attention and all your income on the pop culture toy stuff, keep the shop super stocked, be super ready for toy fairs and whatnot. So yeah, I just wanted to add that stuff into the video because I thought it was important. I'm now going to spend the rest of the day just organising, sorting, hopefully starting to get some listing done, at the same time keeping an eye on the shop for any last minute Father's Day shoppers. I hope any of you guys out there that are celebrating Father's Day have a lovely day, and also if you're not, still have a lovely day. Hope you guys found some really cool stuff at the car boot, and if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, leave a nice comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.